guys, it's your girl, Miss Missouri the Goddess, checking in with your man, Chris.
How you doing?
I'm good, Chris. So give everyone a synopsis of who you are, what you do, and things of that nature.
Well, basically, what I do is I design my own crystal jewelry. The name of my company is called Sophia. And basically, what I do is I make crystal jewelry for emotional, physical, mental, and emotional wellness. Primarily spiritual. It's important that I think people learn about crystals and their benefits as far as the human body and spirituality and getting into meditation and just learning yourself more and understanding yourself on many different levels, the surface level.
When you say meditation and crystal level, of course I don't know your background completely,
Right.
but most people will be like, oh, that's that witchcraft stuff, or that voodoo. Do you ever get that type of feedback?
I do, but like everybody's entitled to their own perception of how they perceive spirituality. I look at it like this is just something that worked for me, in the 11 years that I've been dealing with it, and I've learned more from life, and it kind of paved the way for me to come into what I'm doing now. So, I allow everybody to have their own perception of it. I tend not to feed into that, but if they're welcome to have the crystals as cosmetic jewelry, that's fine too. It's all for the benefit. I feel like all of it to me is the same thing. Every religion to me is the same thing. It's about spirituality, learning about yourself, and just spreading love and positivity in the world, and learning things about yourself. And I call it the universe, the whole, everything. So, in divine intervention, divinity, whatever people call it, it's an omnipresence that we all acknowledge at the end of the day.
What took you in your path of your journey to get into the crystals, to get into the chakras? Like, what made that transition for you in life?
I would say a traumatic experience.
Okay.
All right, it was a serious traumatic experience. Short story version, I almost lost my life about maybe in 2008, and I think from there my life took a 180-degree turn, and it just led me down this path. I kind of took what life gave me and learned some things, and had to understand things about myself on a deep level. Again, not just on the surface level of what people perceive me to be, but as my true self. And I had to learn my own traumas, and I went through a lot of things where I just learned a lot about my family history, like where I came from.
So you actually dug deep.
Yeah.
How do you feel like, in my path, in my transition now, I'm learning a lot of, let's say, secrets in my family history. And
Right.
and that I can understand why people are the way they are and stuff.
Right.
But it's hard for my family to open up about some of those secrets because they keep them. How does that, was your family open to you with those?
I would say that we are just the generational curse. We're gonna break the curses. We're gonna be that generation that starts to break that curse.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. I think like my family is my family. They're gonna be who they're gonna be, and I have to love them regardless. But with that being said, I know myself, and I have a threshold as to what to give and take, so that way it doesn't take away from me. With that being said, I just think that as far as the ones that are awakening and starting to realize these things, we're the ones that's gonna change the pattern and push it in a different. Because now what we learn now, we can teach our children. I look at it like I don't blame my parents for not teaching me. They tried the best that they could with what they understood. My job is that now I know better. I'm gonna do better. The problem. I'm on a solution now.
Okay.
And through my journey, this is where it's got me to, and now I'm giving back the tools to people to help them, because I've been the rock bottom. I'm bounced myself back. I'm an electrical engineer by trade.
Okay.
So I'm very intelligent, and I like to learn from people. I like to read. I'm now getting into the entrepreneurial world. I'm getting my finances super structured, changing everything about things that I do. So this company, I just decided to pour my passion into it.
What's the name of your company?
Sophia, by the way, and my Instagram is Custom Crystal Sophia as well. So you can follow my business line on there. And the holidays are coming up, 1776 on November 30th. We're gonna have a shop small event there. I'll be there doing a create your own bracelets, and I'll have my lines, which I'm gonna introduce tonight to everybody. And my usual customers that know who I am, if you want to get a hold of me, I'll definitely be there on the 30th. I think it's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I'll go ahead and I'll post that on my Instagram as well for all you, so that way I remind you, I'll be there. Come and get a great experience. Yeah.
That's dope. So when you talk about like your family, say you learn to accept them for who they are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you come from a Christianity background, but in the beginning, a Muslim or?
I would say it was your Christian. You know,
you
grew
about
up
to say
in the church.
European, something?
Yeah, I mean,
European.
That's a whole other conversation. That's
No,
like
yeah. I mean, you
know.
have to be at that level to get. I get it.
Yeah.
I study too.
Yeah.
So you cannot have that type of in-depth conversation with people who don't get it. They have to do their own research.
You have to have a very open mind, and to have an open mind is to be able to come out of your comfort zone. And that's where, that's where it starts for a lot of people, is coming out of that comfort zone. Change is inevitable. Change is beautiful.
But we're so scared of change.
But that's and unfortunately we can't even avoid it. When it's time for change, no matter what we do, we can't avoid it. If somebody's not meant to be in your life, change will bring forth that, but it will come, some people will come with a harsh, punishment. Some people might have a smooth transition. It all depends on how you respond. Not react, how you respond. Two different things.
So when you say change is inevitable and change is going to happen regardless of whether we like it or not, change is beautiful. How do you get to that point? Because I think a lot of us, now when we're kids, we're open. We're not as afraid. But I feel like the older we get, doing it, and even in my profession, what I do, and I study psychology and stuff, people are really afraid. Afraid.
Right.
So how do you get them to see that change is actually a beautiful experience?
I would say, one, for me, I've dealt with some traumatic experience in my life, and I've had a section of my life where I lived in a state of fear, but what I realized is that I lived into my mind too much. And what I had to do is I had to start trusting my point where I had no fear, I had my confidence, and then that's when things started to line up for me as far as what I wanted to do in life. And then, life is about 90% about how you react, so you got to respond to life in a certain way, and things will just start coming into play. But that's only when you start diving deep within yourself.
Will you say that today a lot of people don't know who they are?
Yeah, because they're living lives that are not true to them. Either it's to please others or to put on a show, but deep down inside, that's normally a cry out for a trauma inside that you need to work on. Now, don't get me wrong, every day it's a constant battle against myself, but I always make sure the better side of me wins every day.
Okay.
That's the goal, because I'm not exempt. I go through my own, I'm not struggling because I put myself in a situation where I have a solid foundation, and now I'm making that foundation even more solid now, because now I'm applying knowledge to make sure that the ones after me are going to be able to prosper too, not just me. I just want to keep it going,
the cycle, keep it
right.
Keep
I'm changing it, and I'm setting a whole new paradigm, a whole new environment,
and a whole new way of thinking.
Right, and the thing is that it's not easy. It's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be all smiles. It's all about taking each day. And each day you get through it, you're gonna get stronger. And as long as you stay true to it with self-discipline, man, it starts with the little things, the intangibles, like self-discipline, say for instance, you're afraid to go out and meet people. Why don't you start by saying hi to somebody one time every day?
That's a good idea.
Then after a week, do it twice a week, twice a day for another week, until eventually it's like secondhand nature, and you find yourself, oh wow, I'm sociable. Then that being sociable can help you network, and then you can meet people, and then that you can be like, oh wow, I like that idea. You never know, and I know for me, networking was one of the main reasons to where I'm at today as far as my success is through networking. Everybody should be open enough to network. Now, I'm not saying blindly go out there and network, do your research, make sure you study, you learn and know what you're doing. Just don't blindly go in there and just say, I want to meet everybody. And it doesn't work like that, but baby steps. But to start it off, you definitely want to do something that scares you once, at least every day.
That's really dope. You know what I mean? And when you say like the crystals and stuff like that, how do you say this ties into the mental health? Like, why is it that these crystals are so important?
All right, so this is what I'll say. It doesn't completely do the job for you because what I say they do for me when I wear them is they balance me out. And the thing about crystals is that they come from the earth. They have the same minerals that are actually in our body. So it's a bond. And certain crystals have certain vibrations and certain benefits to your chakras. That's what they're for. Because your chakras is basically your energy points in your body that basically is what gives you energy. You see what I'm saying? And you have 7 of them. You have your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and then your crown chakra.
Okay.
So these crystals work with your chakras to help you balance them, because if you ever trace back any kind of trauma, addiction, or anything, it's due to unbalanced chakras. You see, it leads back to the root. The chakra is the root of the soul. Therefore, when the soul is sick, the body is sick, the mind is sick. If the mind is sick, the body is going to be sick, the soul is going to be sick. It's about mind, body, and soul, keeping them all on one level, all balanced. And it's about balance, not maintaining balance, but being balanced, like at one, like resonating at a frequency where you can focus and put your energy into something and manifest things that you want out of life. You can't manifest things if your mind's here, there, everywhere, your emotions all over the place, and then your soul's going to be at a state of unease because of the mind. And if you're eating unhealthy, I mean, it's just like in your higher self, which is the soul, or whatever you want to refer to as far as divinity, it's a constant battle between the flesh and the spirit. It really is an internal battle before it becomes external.
That's really dope message. You said about eating. Like, everyone's talking about how we need to change our diet because we really don't know what's being put into these foods. A lot of people don't know. A lot of people say they actually are to decrease energy and not to increase energy. And we are energetic beings, and people don't know that.
Right,
We're supposed to have
beings.
energy
Right,
and not
exactly.
just subtract.
Right.
But when they give kids medicine to subtract their energy, they actually are slowly killing their soul.
Yeah, and slowing them down on a level where they could be more of a benefit to them than a benefit to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in this society, being a benefit to yourself is detrimental to a society that believes that you have to be beneficial to others. Hence, I mean, I can go into a whole nother conversation about that, but I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
So what we need to focus on is learning how to be our own architects of our life, living our true purpose, knowing who we really are, and being prepared to handle what comes with that.
And I think a lot of things happen. Like, no one escapes trauma.
And it's the initiation too. I feel like everybody can spark an idea and get motivated and say, I want to do this, but eventually they're going to be like, wow, this is really hard. But understand that it's all an initiation. Everything that I went through in my life to the point where I'm at now, I consider it my spiritual initiation. And when I accept that and surrender and release the resistance and just allow the flow and just be the flow, my life is aligned much faster and things manifest for me quick. Like, everything's coming together perfectly. I don't have to force it. I don't have to work overtime to do it. All I gotta do is be there because it's already put together for me. And that's why the Crystal Company, we deal with helping people align their chakras, helping people understand their traumas and know the difference between trauma bonding versus a true connection. Maybe if people really know the difference between those two, then you'll probably find people that's on your path so you can succeed. Maybe the people that are with you right now are probably preventing you from succeeding. But because whatever traumas, whatever's going on inside of you, you keep these people around you, but make sure it's people around you that's actually helping you grow. If you can't look at that person next to you and be like, wow, I want to be like them, and they're somewhere ahead in life, then you shouldn't have them around you.
So basically, watch your circles, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right to have supporting cash roll members, but I'm talking about your inner circle, the team that is in your everyday life, that where you are trying to get to in life. Make sure you're all on the same page, not just in talking, but action, support, results, challenging each other, not even status quo, just leveling up, you know, coming together. Like, it's all about teamwork, networking, and growth. Like, if they can't help you do those things, they are taking away, subtracting. They're not adding, they're subtracting. If they're not helping you plant the seeds to harvest, then they definitely taking from the harvest. It is what it is.
And you know, that's the thing that we have to face, because we'd be like, oh, this person been with me for 15 years, or this person been with my, and people are like, so what? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, and you know what happened? The situation ends up getting so bad for them that they end up with like traumatic state. I would call it PTSD, because PTSD is anything that traumatic that actually changed or altered your life in some kind of way. You know, it could be it could be emotional, mental, physical, spiritual. Abuse is abuse.
Either way, yeah.
Yeah,
Neglect is abuse.
It all boils down to traumatic. You know, it's a traumatic experience, and it will alter. And sometimes, so you can own it, understand why it happened, and move forward, and use it as a tool to climb ahead. You know, because it could be your spiritual initiation for your purpose too.
I think a lot of us don't want to face our purpose in times because we get intimidated what that purpose is. Because
when it scares you, they say when it scares you, that's the one to go for. That's the one you go for. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you gotta do something that scares you every day and conquer it. That's something that I've been practicing, and I've noticed the momentum's been picking up more and more and more. So I'm only speaking from experience. Like, I'm still learning. Like, tomorrow when I wake up in the morning, I'm still writing my next chapter. I'm still writing my next verse for the next time. I'm just passing on what I've been through, and you know, if it can help you, then so be it. If it can't, then that's fine too. But at the end of the day, I'm just giving back.
And that's what it's about, giving back.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Definitely.
And then thank you for, you know, my gift.
Oh, yeah, the Serenity Bracelet, yeah.
Serenity Bracelet, definitely. Tell them what each...
Alright, so, basically...
Yeah.
So, yeah, this bracelet right here, it's made out of amethyst, howlite, and clear quartz. And basically, like, yeah, this bracelet here is for, like, peace of mind, calming, basically serenity, just peace. Amethyst is a good stone, especially like if you want to go to sleep at night, like if you have insomnia. And howlite helps clear the mind. They're good for your throat, third eye, and crown chakras. And crystal quartz clear quartz is a master healer anyway. So it's really good, and the energy on it is wonderful.
It's wonderful. Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more relaxed now. I'm always antsy at times.
Yeah. What I do is I design jewelry, crystal jewelry, you know, for emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. And it's just to wear, like for instance, this piece here. It's rainbow moonstone, amethyst, and blue quartz. So this is one of our designs. You know, Sophia and Michaela designs. This is one of them here. Okay. It's set in sterling silver.
Is it sterling silver or is it metal silver?
No, it's sterling silver.
It's sterling silver.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Actual jewelry, yeah. Sterling
okay.
Silver. Everything's in sterling silver. We get our stones from Brazil, and then we get them actually made in India.
Oh wow! So you get manufactured like it.
Yeah, like I mean, and we personally design our own stuff uniquely.
Oh wow! So you actually will make this your own handmade.
Well, I don't hand make them, but they because I don't have the time to do it. So we just basically pay a manufacturer in India to set them.
Oh, to set them how y'all want them to be set. Y'all do the layout, the drawing and stuff like that. And which crystals y'all want here and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what stones we want, and you know what design. This is more for the cosmetic jewelry wearers.
Okay.
Not so much into the spirituality, but you know, because sometimes people just like the stones.
The stones and stuff like that.
Right. Blue quartz. You have some peridot there, pearl. This is black rutilated quartz with hematite. This is moonstone with blue quartz. That's black kyanite over there.
So that's definitely a lot of like and different. And then when the stuff is shipped out to the people, do you give them like a little pamphlet to describe what it is, what type of story, so that way they know what they're wearing? Because a lot of us are just we're all surface thinker.
Right.
So we're just basically do something, or we're just wear something, don't even know where it came from.
Right. Well, I think it's important.
Yeah, and it's important, especially if you're talking about crystals and things of that nature.
Yeah, and how it benefits you on the spiritual Bracelet workshop, and talking more about like meditation and yoga, and like tapping into yourself more to unlock your potential. And I want to collaborate.
Meditation and yoga. Why is meditation important?
Because it helps you clear the mind so you can be able to listen to the soul. And you'll know the difference between the flesh and the soul by meditating, because the flesh is always going to want to indulge in the mundane, but the soul is always going to want to go what's in alignment with divine.
Oh, okay.
So when you meditate, you'll know the difference between the flesh and the soul.
Do you meditate every day?
Every day, every morning. I wake up at 4 in the morning every day. First half hour, I don't even look at my phone. I just clear my mind.
At 4 in the morning?
Yeah, every day. 4. Well, I have to be at work at 6 a.m.
Oh, that's why it's
and I work about I work about just about Monday through Saturday.
Okay. So you get up at 4 just to take that time for yourself to think.
Right, and then I get up and handle my business, and I think it's important. Self-care is like super important, because I go to the gym 3 days a week. I take care of myself. It's really about mind, body, and soul. They all have to be on one level so you can focus and execute effectively. And that's how you multiply. That's how you work the energies.
I think in today's world, a lot of people are distracted. I mean, everyone.
And that's why, because they don't. Yoga helps, open up the body, allow more oxygen through the body, which is going to open up your brain more. It helps you be able to harness and focus. Like I said before, I had a really traumatic experience, and I was able to overcome all that stuff simply by learning me, taking life for what it gives me and giving it back, and learning about myself on a spiritual level, learning about my mind, tracing my roots back, learning about myself, learning about my mom and dad, the positive and the negative, so I know what not to be and what I can take from them that I need to be. It's a daily battle, and you have to really be brave every day. And eventually it will get better because you'll get stronger. Life's not going to get easier, but it will get better because you're stronger. And then by the time, what's strength? What's strength and foundation? And then if you add that with wisdom and experience, you can really build something.
That's true. You talk about like your roots, so you talk about like going back and stuff like that. I don't think no one on earth escapes trauma. I don't care if you're rich, you're poor, whatever.
Everybody goes through it. It's the law of nature, ups and downs.
Yes, and it's all about how you respond to the trauma and stuff like that.
Exactly. How you respond.
And sometimes we look at things from a narrow perspective. I had some
Which from a left brain perspective, meaning tapping in too much into the masculine energy, yes.
Yeah.
That's what it results to.
That's what it results to? When you just have that one, like...
Yeah, it's left brain, right brain as far as your physical and like your primal instincts, right? But then it's masculine and feminine energy on your spiritual energy.
Okay.
Right, and that goes back to like the law of polarity, which is positive and negative within a whole, like your battery has a positive and negative all in one.
Yeah, they do.
The positive and negative energy, basically, so in life, you're going to have ups and downs. The thing is, in between that up and down, there's a line. That line is where you should be, meaning no matter what's up and down, you should always remain the same. Because you can't stop that. You can't stop that rhythm. You can't stop that. Nobody can stop that. But it's the way that you handle it. So you never want to be up when you're up. You never want to be down when you're down. You just want to be in the middle. Just be grateful for the experiences. And that gratitude is what's going to open up more doors. And like I said before, if you're in the worst state of fear ever, oh my God, like I'm scared for my life. The first step is to say, I'm going to try something that I've not done that scares me. And it'd be simple as, you know what, I'm going to go out today and I'm going to buy me a bikini because I'm scared to show my body.
It'd be simple as that. Yeah, a lot of people are.
And you can go out there and see how you feel about it. You're going to be like going through anxiety like crazy. Yeah, but that's when meditation comes in, your crystals come in. Center. Just be balanced. Center yourself and focus, and then you might realize that, you know what, this is not bad, because a lot of it comes from trauma. Like, people, like, give you an example, like, maybe that person's scared to show their body because they were body shamed their whole life. And then people around them either were aware or not aware. I feel like it can be a combination of both, but what I know is when you're unaware of it, you will attract people that will show you these traits. And it could be a love of your life. It could be, a lot of times, the love of our life, because that's a spiritual lesson we need to learn. you know, and sometimes, you know, we win and sometimes we lose. It all depends on how you respond to it, but, you know, it could be a loved one, it could be your family, it could be friends, but we just have to be more in tune with ourselves to really know.
To really know, and that's where meditation comes to play, yoga comes to play,
Crystals come to play.
And then you do your own research, I'm assuming, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I live it too.
You live it too. Yeah, some people can do it, not live it.
Yeah, I actually live it, and that's what makes me better at what I do, because I'm living it, I'm optimizing it, I'm growing, I'm constantly, you know, changing and out with the old, in with the new kind of mentality, and that's how I move. So, you know, at the end of the day, I believe anybody can do it, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. But if you take it a day at a time and just keep working at it and be consistent, eventually when you start seeing the results, you're going to be more confident, you're going to be more grateful. And then from there, you're going to have to, you know, like I said, you're the architect of it. You are the full architect.
But we don't know that. I think a lot of people don't know that we are the designer of our own life, because we're so busy. We're looking for, I mean, it happens to me too. Like, I had to do my own research. You're always looking for validation from someone else or approval, so then you take away. It's actually taken away from the individual.
Right. And that's draining you. And I feel like, again, if you put a lot more time into yourself first, get to know you, learn yourself from head to toe, root to branch, and then from there you'll start to resonate. And then you're going to realize, like, you know what? I've been working on myself and I've been in a state of peace, and I realized that this particular person constantly thrives off me being not at peace. You know what? Let me remove this person. And you know what's going to happen? When that person is, it might not be easy. I don't know. It all depends on how you respond to that situation. That's a variable. I can't give you a definitive answer. What I can say is, positive, like best case scenario is this person removed, somebody better comes that helps you elevate to the next level. Worst case scenario, you just stay there stuck and keep repeating the lesson over again until you learn it.
Yeah.
And it could be in a different form of that same
person. Sometimes I say I date the same person over again. Different man, same person.
That's because, again, well, in general. Worst case scenario is that you're going to bring back that particular energy in a different form because you didn't learn the lesson yet.
Okay.
But best case scenario is maybe somebody else comes along and then they help you elevate to another level. That's how you know.
Yeah, that's true. But
it's really in hindsight a lot of the time.
Okay.
Because when you're actually in it, it's a lot different because you got a whole bunch of different scenarios going on at once. So this is why meditation is important. This is why healthy 80-20 diet is perfect. This is why you need to go to the gym and exercise, because it allows you to center yourself so you can focus, so you can make the best possible decisions, so you can have the most efficient outcome. Eventually you'll get good at that, and then you'll be the architect of your life and have manifest the life that you want, verbatim. People have done it, and it's because they started with self.
And that's what we all need to get back to, starting with self, and basically teaching the next generation, when you have children, if you do have kids, teaching them it's okay to be selfish, be the best at whatever you do. You know what I mean? Give them those confidence that, you know, sometimes a lot of us lack when we was growing up and stuff like that, because our parents didn't have it. It's not their fault. It's just they just passed on what they had. You know what? And what people don't like, I was so, like, I had a traumatic experience, whatever, but I was looking at it from like this perspective, but I didn't look into the perspective of like all these other components.
And then it's multiple
components. And then once I started to look at it, then I started to sympathize, like, with my mom. Like, I understand why she couldn't help me. Then I started to sympathize with my little cousin, because I understand that and I'm learning more about my family's history, and not that it's positive, but I'm like, damn, this is why we're so dysfunctional. And it's a hard reality to face, but you know what I mean. And everyone wants to keep the secret going. Like, you be like, "Well, this really happened," but it's
but it's actually what's so beautiful about right now is that a lot of things are coming to light.
Yeah, it's coming to light.
I'm just like, oh, like this is exactly the time. So don't be surprised right now in your life if things are just being revealed to you that either force you to change. Maybe answer something that you always knew and wasn't sure about. Like, this is the time where all that's going to happen, because we're just in that particular part of that energy where it's about bringing light to dark situations and forcing change. Like, now people are being forced to change or adapt or perish. At this point, it's either you're going to adapt or you're going to perish. You know, and it's sad too, because it's like, I don't want to sound harsh or anything, but what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it's like, I just see the energies is just like it's either going to be black or white. There's going to be no more gray areas. You're going to have to know what you're doing, or you're just going to
be lost.
Yeah, it's like it's either or. It's really no in between. Nothing. There's
Well, that I say that in the world too, financially. I was like, we're going to be in a rich poor status, and people don't know what's going to happen.
I don't believe. I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't believe in the middle class, because it's like to me it's like almost like it's either you have it or you don't have it. You know what I mean? It doesn't even matter how much money you make. Either you have it or you don't. If you don't live within your means, then you see what I'm saying. I don't. That whole middle, I mean, there's, it gets very interesting and intricate.
It's going to definitely get fade away anyway. You can already see it happening.
Yeah.
So
it's
when
either,
it's
going
to be like completely different.
Yes.
So you're going to either be here or you're going to, and that's just what it is.
Right.
And people don't know. Like, I was like, you can see things happening. I was like, you know, you look at these communities that was once infested with all types of stuff. They're being populated with new type of community people, and it ain't all the time us.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, things are constantly evolving. Like, look at things that's being created, look at things that's invented. I was like, people don't see, like, it's happening right before our eyes. It's happening. It's happening at a fast pace.
Fast pace. And
it's
the
like,
thing is, I tell people, you know, start learning about, you know, financial literacy, learning how to gain assets, investing in assets, saving your cash flow, learning the credit system, you know, learn about starting an LLC. I just didn't get here by chance. I worked at this every day. I work. And I still have a long way to go, and that's fine with me, because where I came from to now, I'm all right waiting and let the process just work out for itself. But for anybody out there, you definitely want to start looking into having multiple streams of income. We're moving into a different age now. One income is not going to cut it. And don't invest in things your money can't multiply in. Like, let's stop wasting our money on all this stuff that, you know, depreciates in value. Like, you want to increase your value. So the main thing is you want to make sure that your money is increasing and is gaining value, and you're not spending it and losing the value in your money. You want to make your money work for you, so that way you can be able to survive or live a comfortable life and not have to worry about a middle class, poor class, or rich class, because you know, with your foundation being solid, you could be in any class you want to be in. Like, you know, seriously.
Financial freedom is the way to go. Like Jay-Z said, that's the goal.
Listen, you could live in a shed and be a multi-billionaire, you know what I mean, and be happy with just the fact that you could just go wherever you want to go, and you could be in debt, using the credit system as debt, and have a $1 million home and struggling to figure out how you're going to keep it up. Like, to me, it's all about having a solid foundation within, spiritually, in the mind, body, and soul. When all those three are aligned and you have a solid foundation, things are just going to start working in your favor. Okay. And you only work against yourself, honestly, you know.
So, what advice would you give to the youth that's coming up, that's feeling lost and don't have direction? What advice would you provide to them? What was the first thing you would tell them?
Don't be afraid to say you need help.
Okay.
And you'll know if somebody wants to help you, if they're a part of the solution and not the problem. So.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why don't you shout out your pieces where they can find you at again?
Yeah.
Where they can do all those things again, so that way before we close out, everyone knows where they can purchase these things. I know you mentioned it again, but just mention it one more time.
All right. So real quick, we're just gonna go over the bracelet lines that I have right now.
Okay.
All right. So they already seen the one Serenity bracelet.
Serenity.
All right, this bracelet here is for emotional balance. So I designed this bracelet with a stone called apatite, which is a balancing stone, a good stone for your throat chakra. Labradorite is a stone of transformation, so it's good to like help you balance yourself so you can embrace the change.